Hey folks, my name is Cameron. This is my dog Bo. It's his birthday. If you're new to this channel, then welcome. If you're not new to this channel, then welcome back. It is great to have you all. So really quick disclaimer before we get into this video. I'm doing this video series for my Girl Scout Gold Award to educate people about LGBTQ plus topics and terms specifically surrounding trans topics because I'm trans and that's what I can relate to. So I have some really exciting news, but it has like a backstory to it, so I kind of have to get through the backstory to make it like comprehensible. So let's do that. So 8th grade, right? I was very confused about how I identified. I had figured out in 7th grade that I was like, I coined the term and the identity of genderqueer because I was like, something is off, but I didn't know what it was, and I'd gone through a lot of different identities that just did not work for me, and genderqueer seemed to be somewhere close to what was right. And so 7th grade and 8th grade I was just kind of like fluctuating around and just confused and upset, and TOB surgery was something that came up. My friend was trans and he was like wanting TOB surgery, and so I did research on it and I was like, this is so cool, like this is what I want, like I want this, like this is what I want. And I promised myself that I was gonna get it done at some point in my life, but it was gonna get done. And last year, I skipped to last year, like 4 years later, I was almost 17 and I was like, this is the time. Like, I knew that the surgery process takes a very long time, and my thought was, by the time that I get it done, I'm gonna be 18 and I'm gonna be going to college, and my major, for those of you who don't know yet, is going to be outdoor adventure and leadership. And so to be outside in the wilderness often and wearing my binder for extended hours seems that it would devastate my health in both physical and mental forms. So that really made it so that TOB surgery took priority over anything else, like testosterone, or I don't know, like protein powder, I don't know. It takes priority. And so I was like, yeah, we have to get this done soon. So I talked to my therapist about it, and my therapist was like, got it, we're gonna work on this, I've got your back, here are the steps that you're gonna need to take. And the first step was to call the hospitals that performed the surgery, specifically their offices for the plastic surgeon for this type of thing. And so I was like, okay, I can do this. Mind you, I have never made a doctor's appointment for myself. Like, I've never called in and made a doctor's appointment. Like, I've done a dentist appointment, I've done an orthodontist appointment, like I've called those in, but I had never called in a doctor's appointment specifically about like removing a part of your body, which happens to be a very big deal. And so I was like very nervous that I was gonna mess things up, and communication was really hard because sometimes they'd pick up and sometimes they wouldn't, and sometimes I didn't know what I wanted to say because I just didn't have enough information about like what I needed, if that makes sense. Like, oh, my insurance is this. I didn't know what my insurance could afford or like what my insurance did. So it was really tough to like talk to people and say, oh yeah, this is my situation, without knowing what your situation was. So it took around 2 months to finally understand that my insurance wouldn't work for either of the hospitals, which is fine. It's totally fine. It was really difficult to understand that because, I mean, I wanted it done, and then there's 2 months later and I feel like I haven't gotten anywhere. But at least I had contacts with people now, and that now I know people at those hospitals for if I need them later. So that was really helpful. And so I brought that information back to my therapist and I was like, okay, this is what I found out. My insurance doesn't cover these places and your recommendations for surgeons in Portland. So what we're gonna have to do is go with the hospital that is included in my insurance. And so my therapist was like, okay. And I set up an appointment with the surgeon in the summer with my father, and I was so nervous because I don't like being touched, especially in my chest area. Like, it makes me so uncomfortable, and I just have to like, during like doctor exams, I just have to like pull myself together afterwards because it just like makes me really uncomfortable. And so I was like mentally prepared for it to be, you know, really difficult. And so I just, you know, my dad and I waited, and I got called in and I went by myself, and I got in my scrubs, and the surgeon came in, and we talked a little bit, and I was, of course, like, I had my arms crossed across my chest, and I was like, you know, anxious. And she was so nice, and she was like, this is what I do, this is what would happen, asking me questions. She just seemed so helpful and like kind and attentive, and I was like, that's a really good sign. Like, that's a good sign. And when I have a bad feeling about something, like, it's not a good fit. Like, if I had a bad feeling, I would have said, no, this isn't the right person. But I had a good feeling, so that was really great. And so she examined me, and I just kind of just breathed all that I could do in that moment, and it passed, and it was good, it was fine. And she showed us before and after pictures for people who had been in her care before, and she's a relatively new surgeon, according to my friend who got surgery from her, apparently. Who knew? And so I was a little bit nervous, but the pictures were amazing, and they all looked different, because she just listens to what her patients want. Like, if you want the lines of your scarring to be straight, then she'll make it straight. If you don't, then she won't. Like, it was so cool. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So that was really great. After the appointment, I went up to the reception desk, and I was like, thank you so much. And they talked to me about certain things, and how with the hospital that we're with, there is an ethics board that decides if your surgery is ethical to their guidelines, which was slightly concerning for me because the hospital was Catholic sponsored. I was just really skeptical because I'm Christian, and there have been people that I've met that have not been supportive, and so I was like a little bit nervous that this would not work out and I would have to start the whole process over again. And so I asked the receptionist, hey, so what is the next step? What should I be waiting for? How long should I be waiting for? What am I waiting for? And she said, we will give you a call. That's when we will talk to you about when you want to get your top surgery done. And the ethics board has to approve it, and then you'll be good to go. And I was like, okay. And so a few weeks passed, and I gave him a call. I gave him a few calls, and they said everything was fine, and they just said I had to wait. And so I was like, okay. But I hadn't, like, no one had asked me for the time that I was available yet. And so I waited like they told me to. And my mom was like, after a while, she was just like, no, they need to get back to us right now. And so she called, and they said, oh my gosh, we are so sorry. His name dropped completely off of the ethics board committee, and we will get that done right now. And so basically what happened is the ethics board approved me. Woo! And then they called back the next day and were like, okay, so you said that you wanted to get your surgery done in June, but that's not going to work out with the timeline that you have with us. So you have to get it done in March. And so I was not a part of this conversation because my mom was having it with this woman, but I heard snippets, and oh my gosh, I was wanting to get my surgery done in March. Like, that was when I wanted to get it because it's sooner, and then I could walk at graduation with top surgery having done. I could go to outdoor school and not have to worry about binding for too long. Like, that seems superior. Also, my Girl Scout troop is going to Europe, and this summer, the idea was that I was going to get top surgery right when we get back, but now I get to go to Europe without having to worry about binding, which is amazing. And so basically my mom was like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. We're going to take a week off of school right before spring, because my mom's a teacher, and she's taking a few days off with me. My dad's taking a few days off to stay with me at home and take care of me, basically. And so I'll have a week to recover, and then another week because it's of spring break to recover, and then I go back to school. And I am so stoked. I'm so excited. I primarily made this video to show you all what I've bought to prepare, but I haven't bought that much. To be honest, I've only bought like some really loose, like fuzzy button-ups. I got like 3 yesterday. One of them was tighter so that I could actually wear something presentable to school when I get back. But we got like 2 really soft button-ups. One of them is a snap, one, which I feel like might be superior just because you don't have to like twist around the buttons, but you can just snap it. We're gonna buy one of the seatbelt covers because I'll be having, like, I usually walk to school. It's like a mile away from my house, and so I usually walk, but I don't know if I'll be able to walk like 40 minutes a day and then like continue walking throughout the day for school, and not be just dead by the end. So my friend is gonna drive me during that week. Shout out to her, she's awesome. And so that's really helpful. So that's kind of what we've done to prepare, but I wanted to share with you all the story of how it kind of came up because I did not know the process of any of this. I was really nervous because I just didn't know how to start and I didn't know where it went. I don't think it's the same for every person. I'm sure it varies, especially because I had to go through so many different like loops. But yeah, this is where we're at. This is cool. I'm really excited. Hey folks, so I was just editing and I wanted to clarify something really quick. I noticed that one thing I said was incorrect, and that was about the ethics board. So it was not their fault at all that my name wasn't on their list. It was a computer malfunction and my name just didn't appear. This is my dog. He's chilling with me. I also wanted to say that I found some cool links that share two of the products that I was thinking of getting for top surgery for myself. One of them being a seatbelt pad with like a cover, so that it would kind of protect my chest a little bit more. And then a quote-unquote mastectomy pillow, so basically just a pillow that has places to put your arms. And so it also has like a pocket for your phone. Anyways, I will put the links for both of those objects in the description, so if you're interested in seeing those, then they will be there for you. Thank you for your patience, and yeah. If you have any questions, oh, this is really cool. If you have any questions about surgery or trans related topics or just LGBTQ plus topics or any questions in general, there is a link down below to a Google form that you can just put your questions in. I'll see it, I'll answer it in the next video. And it's just a way to give back to like the community, and see how things are going, and answer those questions that you all have, because I know that I had a lot. So feel free to use that, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, bye. Hey folks, I was just editing this video and I noticed that I had said something wrong, and so I really wanted to just clarify. And yeah, so my mom, when she was on the phone with the hospital and they said that my name was not on the ethics board list, what actually happened was that there was a computer malfunction, so my name didn't appear on the list in the first place. So that is what I wanted to clarify really quick. Also, I just wanted to recommend some other products. Like I said, the seatbelt thing to protect your chest is something that we will be purchasing very soon. Button-ups and snap-ups, depending on the weather, are super recommended by everyone, I'm pretty sure. There's also like a chest pillow thing that has like armholes and a phone pocket in the front, and I believe that we'll be purchasing that. I also have a dog that jumps on me, and it like he can jump on my chest, and that does not feel great even without having a surgery, so that will be protection. And I also recommend pants that are not like snap-ons or buttons or zip-ups, just pants that have elastic bands. I've heard that they are super helpful, especially in the first parts. You're not going to be wanting to like move your arms up and down that much, and it'll be really helpful to just have something that's loose on you. Honestly, I feel like comfortable clothing is the best way to go, because like this, it's just comfortable clothing. I would love to stay in it all day, minus the fact that this is a hoodie and I wouldn't be able to get it off my body. So those are just some things. I will put links in the description for those specific products, and thank you for letting me clarify that really quick. Anyways, resuming the video. Wait, no. Anyways, have a good one. Anyways, yeah, there we go.